Assalamualaikum dear students, this is Amir Hussain. As you know that we are discussing the chapter 4 of political science, that is gender, religion and caste. In this chapter we have already discussed the first two topics, that is gender and religion. Gender and religion, yes, and now we are discussing the third topic of this chapter, which is communalism and politics. I have already uploaded first two parts of this topic. Now this is third part. Now in the first two topics, in the first two parts, we already discussed what this communalism is, what are the various ideas or basic tenets of this communalism, and in the second part we discussed various forms or different forms of communalism which are prevalent, which are in existence in politics. In this third part we are going to discuss the response of our constitution makers to this challenge of communalism, to this threat of communalism. Now, as you know that this communalism was and is always a threat. It is always a threat, a major challenge to Indian democracy. That means this communalism, concept of communalism, this has always and was in the past. In the past, this communalism was and it is still and it will always remain a threat, a major challenge to the Indian democracy. This Indian democracy is threatened by this communalism. ये जो communalism है, इस communalism ने Indian democracy को बहुत बड़ी challenge लाकर खड़ा कर दी है. Now is the makers of Indian constitution, the makers of Indian constitution were aware of this threat or challenge. The makers of Indian constitution, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, B.R. Ambedkar and other constitutional experts who have formed the constitution of India, who have made the constitution of India. All these persons, all these constitutional makers, all these constitutional experts, they were knowing that this communalism is a challenge, it is a threat to Indian democracy, and to overcome this challenge, to combat this challenge, what they did, they therefore they adopted a secular model of state. These constitutional framers, ये जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बनाने वाले थे, उनको पता था ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है इंडियन डेमोक्रेसी का. तो इन्होंने क्या किया, इन्होंने इसको ओवरकम करने के लिए दे डेलिबरेटली चूज अ सेक्युलर मॉडल ऑफ स्टेट. इन्होंने सेक्युलर मॉडल स्टेट का और दे अडॉप्टेड ए मॉडल ऑफ सेक्युलर स्टेट. इन्होंने सेक्युलर स्टेट मॉडल जो है वही अपनाया इस कम्युनलिज्म के चैलेंज को ओवरकम करने के लिए. एंड what this secular model of state is, or secular state model क्या है. This model of secular state is actually, it is enshrined in Indian constitution. It is enshrined in Indian constitution. This model is visible. This model is enshrined in Indian Constitution through various or several constitutional measures or provisions. In various constitutional these provisions, the idea of secular state is enshrined. And what are these constitutional provisions? जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है इसमें कुछ ऐसे प्रोविजंस रखे गए हैं जो प्रोविजंस हमें इशारा देते हैं सेक्युलर मॉडल की तरफ. ये हमें दिखाते हैं कि इंडिया की स्टेट जो है उसका नेचर क्लियरली सेक्युलर तरस पे है. एंड व्हाट दिस सेक्युलरिज्म इज according to Indian Constitution we will discuss, and what are the various constitutional provisions which have been which have been added in the Constitution, which have been made in the Constitution in order to overcome this challenge of communalism. First is, as you know, that India is a diverse country. India is a diverse country. That means not only in terms of population, but also in terms of religion, in terms of regions, in terms of languages, in terms of cultures. This India is very diverse. So India is a multi religious country. It is multi-religious country. And what this multi-religiousism is, it means in India there are many religions. There are many religions in India. इंडिया में बहुत सारे मजहब देखोगे. Like we have Hinduism, which is major dominant religion. We have Islam. We have Sikhism. We have this Jainism. We have Buddhism and several other. We have Christianity, even we have this Zoroastrianism and other religions which are prevalent in India, and the followers of these religions are also found in India, in various parts of India, in various states of India. So India is multi-religious country, and this multi-religiousism, it has this forced the framers of Indian Constitution to adopt the secular model of state. Why secular model of state? Because in secular model of state, what we have, we will discuss. Actually, under this secular model of state, Indian state has no official religion. Indian state has no official religion. Although many religions existed in India, but Indian state has no official religion. That means it has no permanent religion. Indian state जो है, it is secular in the sense that it has no this permanent religion, no official religion in India, and Constitution had made this clear. And no special status has been given to any particular religion. Rather, किसी रिलीजन को इंडिया में खास अहमियत नहीं दी गई है. इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि स्टेट का कोई रिलीजन, ऑफिशियल रिलीजन नहीं है, परमानेंट रिलीजन नहीं है. देयरफॉर all the religions all the religions in India are treated equally. सारे जितने भी रिलीजन है, चाहे इस्लाम है, जैनिज्म है, बुद्धिज्म है, सिखिज्म है, हिंदुइज्म है, सारे रिलीजन जो है इनको इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट दी गई है. दिस स्पीक्स दैट इंडियन स्टेट is secular state. It has adopted secular model, and this is clear in from the Constitution of India, where there are some provisions, constitutional provisions, and this is first important provision. And to this ensure this provision, to ensure that there is no official religion of Indian state, there are some other important provisions. And what are these provisions, constitutional provisions, measures? We will discuss that. As you know that all the citizens of every citizen of India, or all the citizens of India, they enjoy under the constitution originally 7 fundamental rights, but it was later that one fundamental right, that is a right to property, was deleted, and nowadays the citizens of India, permanent citizens of India, they are enjoying the 6 fundamental rights. And one of the fundamental right which has been provided by to us by the Constitution of India is the right to freedom of religion. And this right is fourth right, fourth fundamental right. Fourth fundamental right which we are enjoying under the Constitution of India is the right to freedom. And this right to freedom comes in the article, it is mentioned in the article, under article in the Constitution, under article 25 to 28. Under article 25 to 28, this right, that is right to freedom of religion, fourth fundamental right, has been mentioned. And under this right, various religious rights have been given to the minorities, to the religious communities of India. And according to article 25 of the Indian Constitution, this all communities, all individuals and communities, that means religious communities, they are free to profess, practice and propagate any religion. So this is article 25, that all the citizens of India, all the religious communities of India, they are free to profess, propagate and practice any religion, whatever religion they like, whatever religion they have adopted, they are free to choose their religion. They are free to choose their religion, they are free to profess their religion, they are free to practice their religion, they are free to propagate their religion. जो भी मजहब इन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया होगा, ये उसको प्रोफेस कर सकते हैं, मान सकते हैं, ये इसको प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, उसकी प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, ये पूजा कर सकते हैं मंदिरों में, मुसलमान मस्जिदों में जाकर अल्लाह की इबादत कर सकते हैं, ये अपने रिलीजन को प्रोपोगेट भी कर सकते हैं. प्रोपोगेट मीन्स स्प्रेड करना, ये उसको फैला भी सकते हैं, इन पे कोई पाबंदी नहीं है. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो है इंडिया अंडर आर्टिकल 25 हर एक सिटीजन, हर एक इंडिविजुअल और कम्युनिटीज को देता है. सिमिलरली अंडर आर्टिकल 15, अंडर आर्टिकल 15 there is prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion. दैट मीन्स आर्टिकल 15 जो है, आर्टिकल 15 says that there should be no discrimination on the basis of this religion. रिलीजन की बुनियाद पे कोई भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं होनी चाहिए, किसी भी इंसान के साथ कोई भी गलत सलूक नहीं किया जाना चाहिए, उसके साथ कोई भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, बुरा सलूक, बुरा बर्ताव जो है उसके साथ नहीं होना चाहिए। किस बुनियाद पे? मजहब की बुनियाद पे। दैट मीन्स ऑल द सिटीजन्स इन इंडिया दे आर इक्वल इन टर्म्स ऑफ देयर रिलीजन, वट एवर रिलीजन दे हैव, they are all the citizens of India are equal before the eyes of law, and there should be no discrimination. This discrimination on the basis of religion, this has been prohibited. इसको मना किया गया है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने इसको मना किया है, and this is punishable act under article 15 of the Indian Constitution. And the interesting thing about this secular model of Indian state is that on one hand constitution has safeguarded, it has given freedom to all the followers, to all the citizens, to all the individuals, to all the religious communities, that they can practice, follow their own religion, whatever religion they like, they can follow, they can practice, they can propagate that religion. But the interesting thing about this secular state is that the constitution on one hand, it has mentioned various fundamental these religious rights. It has ensured, it has this that it has given various citizens, religious communities, the rights, religious rights on one side, and on the other side the constitution of India, it has empowered, or it has allowed the state to intervene in the religious matters. In the religious matters, the constitution has empowered, it has allowed the state to intervene, and this intervention of state is called positive intervention. इसको positive intervention कहा गया है. This is called positive intervention because state has to positively intervene, and it has to intervene in the religious matters. कब इसको क्यों इसको इंटरवीन करना होगा? टू एंश्योर द इक्वालिटी, to ensure the equality within religious communities. ये जो religious communities हैं उनमें equality होनी चाहिए, and there should be no discrimination and oppression in them. किसी भी religion में discrimination या oppression जो है वो नहीं होना चाहिए. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने वाज़ेह कर दिया है, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने इसीलिए स्टेट को जो है अलाउ किया है, एम्पावर किया है कि आप इंटरवीन कर सकते हो रिलीजियस मैटर्स में. पॉजिटिवली इंटरवेंशन जो है आपको करनी होगी ताकि रिलीजियस कम्युनिटीज़ में ये जो इनइक्वालिटी होगी वो एंड करनी होगी, वो इनइक्वालिटी ना रहे, वहाँ पे जो रिलीजियस कम्युनिटीज़ हैं उनमें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ना रहे, उनमें डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ना हो, उनमें ऑपरेशन ना हो. इस चीज़ को लाजमी बना देना चाहिए. ये कहा गया है, पहले ही ये चीज़ इंश्योर की गई है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की तरफ से. सो दिस इज़ अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट provision, constitutional provision, which again shows, which again speaks that Indian Constitution has adopted deliberately, the makers of Indian Constitution have deliberately adopted a secular model of state, because they know that in India there are chances of this communalism, and in order to combat, in order to overcome this problem, they have adopted the secular model of state. And this secularism is foundation. It is foundation or base of India. This secularism is foundation or it is base of India. ये इंडिया की बुनियाद है ये secularism. And it has been said that secularism is not ideology of any person or persons, not of any party or parties. So this secularism is not an ideology of a particular person, of a particular persons or group of persons or parties. Rather, this is an ideology which forms the base of Indian Constitution. And according to this ideology, India is a secular country. India is a secular model. India is a secular state, and India has this no permanent religion of Indian state, no official religion of Indian state. And this communalism, which is seen as a major threat or challenge to this state, Indian democracy. This communalism is seen not a threat only to some people, rather, or some groups, rather it is a challenge to the idea of India. This communalism is a challenge to the threat. It is a threat, it is a challenge not only to some people. It is not to a particular people, to a particular group of people, to some people. Rather, it is a challenge to the whole India, to the whole idea of India, to the unity of India. And in order to combat this challenge of secularism, in order to combat this challenge of communalism, secularism or secular constitution is not enough, or it is not sufficient. This secular constitution which the India has adopted is not enough, it is not sufficient to combat this challenge or threat of communalism. Rather, it has been found that this secular constitution is necessary. It is necessary, but it is not sufficient. You cannot wholly and solely rely on this secular constitution. That secular constitution, by adopting secular constitution, we are this overcoming the problem of communalism. Rather, this is not sufficient. We have to take other measures. We have to take some other steps in order to combat, in order to overcome this, in order to prevent, stop this, or contain this communalism. The first step is communal propaganda and prejudices need to be combated or countered in everyday life. In everyday life, these things, that is this communal propaganda which is being propagated, which is being spread all over India, this propaganda needs to be overcome. This needs to be challenged in everyday life, and prejudices, communal prejudices also need to be combated. And with this, we have to also counter the religious or religion based mobilization. We need to encounter this also in arena of politics. In the arena of politics, we also need to combat, we also need to challenge, we also need to counter the another problem, that is this religion based mobilization also needs to be challenged, also needs to be countered, always needs to be countered. And law should ban the political parties from using religion, and also in politics, in political arena, and also election commission should prepare conduct a code of conduct for parties, so that the religion is not used in the politics. So this is all about this topic, that is communalism and politics. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you.